Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some snack habits. Bye. Let's get straight to the content of the day. But before we do, let's get straight to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, go on ahead and do that. Please. It helps the algorithm. It helps the channel. It helps me. And I appreciate it. Thank you for all the support. I'm very humbled by it. So, I ain't gonna lie. I just smacked some food right now and I got the burpees. But that doesn't stop the grind, right? So, with all this Tory Lanez mess going on, man, with all this bullshit, right? Let's talk about a situation that happened a while back. And, when it first happened, I seen it. It was a long time ago in a land far, far away called San Jose. I never really quite paid attention because, to be totally honest with you guys, I didn't know who Tory Lanez was. At that time, his popularity was not what it is today, not what it was yesterday, not what it was the day he got stabbed, right? So right now, he's on fire. Right now, everyone's talking about him. Hey, it's him and Diddy. Heads up. They're going heads up. Who's going to win? The Diddler or Tory? The Diddler or Tory? I got Tory. I got Tory by a nose, right? Straight up. But look, I'm going to tell you this, and this is the truth. San Jose Nortenos at one point in time banned Tory Lanez from entering the East Side, for entering San Jose, period. And there's a backstory to this. Now, I say that to say this. Tory Lanez has gained a lot of respect when it comes from me. And it's not because he got stabbed, and it's not about his music, and it's not about shooting Megan Thee Stallion in her pinky toe, whether he did it or not. What it's more so about is a video that just dropped. Dubs put out, man. You guys need to watch this video. Dubs figured it out. He solved the case. Man, it's a pretty tricky situation, man. Make sure you guys go to the Dub channel and go watch the video he put out on Tory Lanez, man, because I think he quite figured it out. And within that video, man, him telling me about it, I gained a lot of respect for what Tory Lanez was doing in and out of prison, and he was making things happen. But regardless of that, let's get to San Jose and what happened with the Nortenos. Now, I'm hearing all these guys trying to cause race riots. They're trying to cause confusion, an eye for an eye, brown for black, black for brown. Man, there's some guys screaming out there in the streets. They want some sangre. They want some blood. They want some Mexicans to pay back for what happened to Tory Lanez. I'm mad at you. I understand the situation. But you know what? It goes both ways. It goes both ways. If you just keep going back and forth and spilling blood and woofing high-power shit on the internet, man, it's going to cause some innocent people to get in a wreck and get hurt. And the last thing we need as black and brown people is to hurt each other or let others watch us tear each other down while they prosper and profit. People like Adam, profit off the brown and black man's sweat of their brow. But we don't need that. So what we need to continue to do is stay vigilant, stay observant, observe what's going on. Let our observations speak volumes. Observe what's really going on before we're quick to jump the gun over two individuals getting in a stabbing contest. We don't need to worry about on the streets what happens in prison necessarily and let that affect us. Because 9 times out of the 10, we're going to end up on the losing tip of a knife or a gun. And we don't need that. We don't need violence. So I'm never going to push that narrative here. And for those that are pushing it, that's showing racial tendencies. That's showing basically stupidity, ignorance. And that's it, man. Let us be vocal. Let us converse. Let us have a conversation before jumping the gun. Because at the end of the day, and by the time you're done watching Dub's video, you're going to understand why we were foolish in the first place. Now, I'll say this. The whole San Jose Norteño get down and why they banned Tory Lanez over 6 years ago was because Tory Lanez did some underhanded, dirty shit, allegedly. It happens before. We've seen it with the Messi Marv situation. If you guys remember when Messi Marv got boo-bopped in Reno, he didn't show up to a concert, man. He took the promoter's money and went and smoked crack for the weekend. They caught up to him, right? Allegedly in that motel room, filmed it. Man, shut up, blood. I don't give a fuck what you saying, blood. Oh, power, I don't care. And they made him take his earrings off his head. They did him bad, did him dirt bad, right? Poor Messi. It was a messy situation. Messi found himself in. He ain't never been the same since. You can find him right now, as of today. Let me look at my watch. Yep, smoking crack under the Richmond Bridge. Hey, unfortunately, I love me some Messi, man, but it's, like I said, it's very messy. But when I recall that situation, that kind of leads me into this Tory Lanez situation. You know, 6 years ago, Tory Lanez was banned from the city of San Jose by the Nortenos. In fact, one Norteño in specific, Lazy Boy de Sanjo, who's a rapper that was on No Jumper, who gained a little bit of popularity within the beef between him and the artist formerly known as Lefty Gunplay, right? The symbol. That guy, Lazy Boy, before his popularity grew, he was just a local rapper. A good Norteño, allegedly active in the mix with respect on the east side of San Jose. Now, he took to the airwaves, he took to social media, banning Tory Lanez from coming to San Jose, speaking for the city of Sanjo. Now, I don't know if he has, at that time, the juice to speak for Sanjo, but he definitely was saying, man, the Cholos were on Tory Lanez's line. Because, according to his story, Tory Lanez had volunteered for a nice little sack to go pull up for a show, a performance, and he was dealing with a friend of Lazy Boy's, probably another Norteño or whoever. And for whatever reason, Tory Lanez didn't show up. He blocked the guy's phone number, blocked him on IG, and basically took his bag and got to bagging, right? Did it moving. Now, it happens all the time. I could tell you guys about a situation, right? Where within my neighborhood, I had a couple homeboys that were breaded up. They had a little cheddar cheese. They had a little bit of bread. They never gave me none, motherfuckers, right? But they had it. That's a fact. And there was local rappers, not even local rappers, pretty well-known rappers from the Bay Area. Keek the Sneak being one of them. Another rapper, man, from Sacramento that literally wanted to do music videos. So the homeboy shot him like 30, 20, 25, 30 racks. Invested in them for their music video with, with knowing that they were going to get their money back on the back end. Well, that never happened. Dudes blocked him and wiggled, right? And the homeboy chalked it up to the game because it wasn't nothing but chicken scratch. To him, 30 racks, 25, 30 racks wasn't nothing. If that's what the relationship, the friendship was worth to you, go ahead and rub that on your chest, right? And that was that. So I've seen things like this happen. But according to Lazy Boy, the Sanjo Norteños, which are not to be taken lightly at any point in time, they're with the business, right? And San Jose is a pretty well-known city in Northern California in the South Bay area. And, you don't go disrespecting vatos from Sanjo in their city. You don't pull up to their city unannounced, man, without blessings. There's certain things you don't or can't do and expect to not have them on your line. Not expect the Norteños just to let it pass, right? It just doesn't happen like that. And even the Southsiders in Sanjo, they ain't fucking around either. If you disrespect the city of Sanjo, no one takes it lightly. So for Tory Lanez to go get a bag off someone and not pull up and show up for that show, well, that showed a fucking definite flaw of character, right? So Lazy Boy took to the airwaves. Why he went to social media with it, I don't understand why people do that. If you have an issue with someone, a problem, if there's some shit that could possibly go down behind it, I don't know how much money was exchanged, how much money they're saying that Tory Lanez had got away with, and it could have been anything from management, from Tory Lanez, not even personally knowing what's going on. When you're that big of a artist, a rapper, a singer, whatever, half the time you got other people dealing with your bag. You got management, you got other dates, other things going on. So he might have been over here when he was supposed to be over there, and he didn't even know. But of course, the people who paid the money are going to hold him accountable. This wasn't even Lazy Boy's money, but he put his nose into the business because he felt it was his homeboy's friend, and he had a platform, so he spoke out on it. And he said, hey, homie, you're not going to disrespect our people by burning us, basically, blocking the numbers. That was pretty suspicious right there. When a motherfucker blocks your number, you can't get a hold of him anymore. It's kind of like, all right, you got me. You got me, now get me, But still, I seen it as a faulty move on Lazy Boy's part for even announcing it over there. Because what if something did happen? What if someone got boot-bopped? What if, real Norteños that are really in the mix, man, felt some type of way and took it out on other people or made some wrong moves, some wrong power moves wearing shower shoes, Well, here's some knowledge you can't get in college. If they decided to do that, they're going to get locked up. And of course, the law enforcement's going to have that video where you're saying, hey, basically the Cholos are on your line, the Norteños are on you, you're banned from San Jose, you can't come back, you can't do business here, you can't function in this city without getting touched on or fucking shooting some feria, right? Like an extortion tactic or some bullshit, man. It sucks. Now, obviously, man, I don't wish ill will upon Tory Lanez. He's going through his own shit right now. And hopefully, man, after hearing what Dub's video is about And listening to what he said, man, I hope that dude gets all the get backs in the world. I ultimately hope that dude is found not guilty on a retrial and he gets out. Because what he was doing for the population in prison, that man shouldn't have had a knife anywhere near him. They should have fucking saved and protected him. Not only black, but brown as well. Like I said, tap into Dub's video and you're going to get the full rundown, right? But as far as the San Jose Nortenos banning Tory Lanez, you know, that was the only thing I heard about it. Lazy Boy going on the airwaves saying that he couldn't come back. But I never heard anything after that. I know, in fact, for a goddamn fact, man, I remember Tory Lanez did go to San Jose a couple times after that and do concerts. So his presence definitely was felt. So that was a lot of rhetoric. That was a lot of, unresolved issues. But it was also a lot of fucking things that were said there that never prospered, never transpired. It never happened. So I know Lazy Boy was feeling some type of way. I don't know if he was just speaking his mind or at that exact moment was tripping. But water under the bridge, man. Tory Lanez, from what I hear, they're not tripping on him. You know, there's a lot of interaction in the Bay Area between brothers and Nortenos. There always has been, man, all the way back to the Mac Dre Romped Out Norteño CD with Gangsta Flea. So many different interactions, you know, between the blacks and the browns in the Bay. And this is why you would have a lot of the Southsiders go in on Northerners and say they tried to act black or they had a lot of urban twists to their swag or whatever. And there definitely was. There definitely was more so in the Bay than the Valley. The Valley was lightweight, but not as much as the Bay Area. The Bay Area, the blacks and the browns, man, was pretty much hand in hand. They did a lot of business and had a lot of interaction. So I could see someone like Tory Lanez. He's from Canada. He's not from the Bay, you know, trying to make a power move, a quick little and get on. And dude's feeling some type of way. But let me explain something to you. You know, whatever happened, I'm sure the San Jose Norteños dealt with it the way they dealt with it. And for Lazy Boy to go online and say what he said, you know, it's just a perfect example of people saying too much online. You don't want to do that because when you do, you're alerting the authorities. You know, I've always seen it as a cry for help. You know, if you go online immediately, if you have an issue with someone and you're just bumping baking soda breath the whole time, woofing about what you're going to do to him, what you think he's going to do to you, things like that, well, guess what's going to happen? What's definitely going to happen, man, is law enforcement's going to be alerted. So now they're going to be on watch time. Now they're waiting for something to happen. They're not going to stop it before it happens, more than likely. They're going to let you fucking fall into the trap, do something, use that tape against you, and voila, there you go. Now you're on the fucking same EOP yard with fucking Tory Lanez and that J-Cat. That's how that goes. So, man, saying what he said, I know it makes you look cool or feel good. Like, man, I'm sticking up for the homies or I'm sticking up for this. This is how we rock. We don't give a fuck. But really, there's not a man alive that doesn't give a fuck a little bit. Okay? So I wanted to talk about, because I got asked a question, and, you know, since we're on this Tory Lanez stuff again, right? Tory Lanez, when he got whacked, when he got hit, right, by this non-active, degenerate, fucking EOP weirdo, right? And I say that with a capital W because he definitely had weird charges, and I don't care what anyone says. That's just the way I say it. Yes, I'm not an active gang member. Yes, man, I would probably go on the same yard as them and get off where I'm at. But I'm definitely never had a case like his wild case at all. Don't even put me on that level. You know, I'll put myself where I put myself, and it ain't nothing like that. Someone asked me, where did the Norteños figure in on all this? We know dude's an ex-Southsider. You know, we know he was from the War Dogs, I think it was called, Reseda. Where was he from? He's whatever, man. Someone told me West Side Reseda or something like that. We know he was from Southern California. That's a fact, right? Palmdale. We know that, you know, there's a lot of people stirring the pot. There's going to be a black and brown fight. There's going to be black and brown. When I hear people like Omparu, Bubba Butt 100, whack, right? When I hear people like fucking Hassan fucking, oh, don't touch me no more. Don't touch me no more, Campbell, right? Inciting people, black people, brothers, sisters, eye for an eye, inciting them to go against Mexicans. They do understand, right? In the California prison systems, there's a difference between North and South. But when they're saying Mexicans, that does involve North. So one guy asked me, hey, where do the Norteños stand in this? What would they do in this situation? Well, they're Mexican, bro. You know, if it was just like, hey, the Southsiders and the blacks are going at it, Northerners are going to take a step back and let them handle their business. Same thing would happen if it was Northerners and blacks. Southsiders are like, shit, my name's Bennett. I'm not in it, right? But when you say Mexican, the North and South are two sides of the same coin, heads and tails, right? Top and bottom. It's what it is. So now when you're saying it's Mexicans, then what do you expect the Norteños to do? There's an end to hostilities here. If they feel that there's a threat to them and people are just targeting Mexicans, well, their Mexican blood's going to start to boil. Now, unfortunately, man, it even has to come to that, or people are mentioning that. Nothing's going to happen. I'm going to be totally honest with you and drop some jewels and some fucking, some knowledge you can't get in college, some real shit. There's not going to be no retaliation. There's not going to be no one paying for this, because if you watch Dub's video, he's going to enlighten you into what really, really happened and who's responsible. And after watching that video, if you're any real brother or any real Mexican, then you're going to understand it's us versus them, not them versus us, right? So trip out. But where would the Norteños stand? Well, when it becomes a racial issue, man, you ride with your people, even though the North and South have their issues, man, and there's, been guerra for 15 years and all that shit gets put to the side when it becomes a black and brown issue, because that's the common denominator between North and South. That's why I'm a big advocate for we're all the same, pretty much, just grew up in different areas, right? North and South, Northern California, Southern California, it's all California and it's all brown, right? So they're brown. So what would happen is if the blacks moved on the Mexicans, then every Mexican's going to defend themselves. And just like every black would defend themselves. It's the truth. It's the facts. But that's not, this incident, this Tory Lanez incident is not even going to come to all that. I promise you this. And the reasons being is it's not what you think it is. It's not all that is cracked up to be. And I thought this from the gate, man. Like there was some extra spectacular, extracurricular activity going on behind the scenes. And man, was I surprised when Dubs laid the shit all on the table and let me see it. Wow. I'll say this though, right? As far as the San Jose Norteños doing that to Tory Lanez, yes, it did go down. Tory Lanez for a minute or two was blocked from the city of San Jose, because it was alleged, man, that he burned someone. Now, it wasn't a black or brown thing, a North and black thing. It was one individual that for whatever reason decided, man, I'm just going to take this money and get ghosts. Everyone's like, Tory Lanez got money. He don't need to steal anyone's money. Well, listen, he didn't have money all the time. Not everyone comes from that silver spoon. Some people got to go out there and get it cutthroat style. They got to get that EPA on. What's up, Rogue? You know what I mean? They got to get that motherfucking Vallejo on. What's up, Cuddy? They got to get that Merced on. It just is what it is. Everyone got to do what they do, man, to come up. You got to get your Fresno on. Look. Or your LA on. What's up, Bessie? You got to get yours on. So people are hustlers. And yes, man, I ain't going to lie, man. I can tell you a story. I did a faulty move one time. One time, motherfucker was doing dirt bad. I mean, dirt bad. This white dude came up to me. Man, it was like the Lord brought him to me. I don't know. God, I know, but I know, right? This motherfucker came up, man, can you give me 2 zips and some whoop-de-wop-wop? I said, yeah, I can get you some of that beep-bitty-boop-boop. I can get you, in the words of that crazy fucking black dude that's on No Jumper, I can get you some of that goo-gosh, boop-bop, boop-bop, right? Easily, right? Let me go over here and let me go take this money that you're handing me, this big old stack, and let me walk into this house right here at the homie's house and do what I do. He said, yeah, I told him park right here because I don't want you to park directly in front of the house because they be tripping. He's like, oh, no, it's all good, brother. It's all good, brother. I said, man, this white man is in for a black awakening. Meaning, if you fuck around with me, I'm going to knock him out. He's going to see black, right? So I said, let me get off the car. Got off the car. Did not go to the front door. Did not knock. Did not walk right in. Didn't even know who lived there. Jumped over the side fence, got somewhere, called the homeboy, picked me up, and we went to the casino. White dude was there, baffled. I'm just saying, sometimes you have to make some power moves wearing shower shoes that you wouldn't necessarily make in real life. And I was never into burning someone, but hey, if I ever see you in traffic, bro, I get you back. If you remember what I look like. And that's just because I don't remember what he looks like. It's been that long. What I'm saying is, man, Tory Lanez being banned from San Jose, I'm not surprised. They ain't fucking around in San Jose just like any other city. But yeah, it's a fact, man. At one point in time, the Norteños were tripping on him. Nowadays, I don't think the Norteños even care, to be totally honest with you. That's one thing I know about when I was an active Norteño and I was in the mix. Whatever is going on in that yard, as long as it doesn't affect the homies or no homies are shedding their blood, who gives a fuck, right? Now, again, they're not going to let any brothers, any whites, anyone of a different ethnicity punk a northerner nor a Southsider in front of them. That's not the way it works, right? Southsiders are going to do the exact same thing. They're not going to let a whole bunch of black dudes get on the northern's head, man, without getting involved. It's crazy that we could kill each other for years, for decades. Bodies dropping. But we ain't gonna let no one else drop the body. It's just only us, right? It's just weird. Anyways, with that being said, man, that's what went down with Tory Lanez. Like I said, I've gained a lot of respect. Go tap into Dub's channel and get the full scoop and the rundown. And it just is what it is. If you like this, hit a 1. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people, man. I fucking appreciate you guys. The gun.